Hello, Dr. K.
Hey, hold on. Let me start my video. How are you?
Oh, you got the hat on. Oh,
Yes, I had to put a hat on because I just recently got surgery. So
oh,
my stitches are like, yeah.
okay. You good though?
I am good. I have nosebleeds,
Oh,
so I had to get surgery done on that because I'm just way too old to still be having nosebleeds.
you
I
don't
think that's
even
the
look
most
old. You look like you about 20.
girl, I'm about to be 35.
Really? You
Yeah,
look
yeah.
good.
Thank
Okay.
you. Black don't
Congratulations
crack
on
when we
all of
take
that
care of
surgery.
ourselves.
Yes, you looking good, but whoo, you would
Thank
never
you.
know. But for those that's tuning in for the first time, we got Dr.
Hold up, sorry. This is my
Okay.
boyfriend calling me. Let me just let him know.
Okay. Well, let me
Uh,
do my intro while you're doing that. It's okay. Um, I'm Fiyachick for those that do not know. This is Airitoutradio. We got Dr. Canary. That is, you know, blessing us for tonight. And I'm super excited because we're gonna get all up in her business and find out some good sex stuff and some advice on relationships and all that good stuff. And well, thank you for being here. I know we don't have a lot of time, so I'm going to jump right into some questions.
yes, let's
Okay.
get to it.
Um, well, they're gonna be all over the place, so it's like,
Okay, no, that's
all right.
fine. That's fine. I don't mind.
To spice it up, to spice it up. All right. So what's your thoughts on Kevin Samuels? I know God rest his soul, but like since you do relationships, what was your thoughts on that? Because I didn't see anybody talk about that. Did you feel like it was all cap, or did you feel like he had a lot of good points?
You know what? It's all about perspective. I'll say that. I can appreciate Kevin Samuel's point of view.
Hmm.
I listen to a lot of his podcasts, but not in its entirety. Like I would listen to maybe a good 15 or 30 minutes.
Of course.
Um, and he was real. He was honest. It's not the most therapeutic thing coming as a psychiatrist and a sex therapist. Some of the stuff he was saying, I would love to say to my clients, but I
Mm,
can't say it in that
why
way. So
not?
I felt like because at the end of the day, you have to be professional. And one thing
Right.
I am learning is everybody cannot take constructive criticism
Mm,
and everyone can't take harshness or a certain tone. And even though a lot of the stuff he was saying was facts, it was real, and the women on the show or the men, they were coming to him. So you clearly want his opinion or respect his opinion, or you want to be entertained because they did call on the show. He wasn't just picking random people.
right.
But of course, it was entertainment as well. So I understand sometimes the way he was probably saying it was for entertainment purposes. He knew what he wanted to gain from it.
Mm,
But he had a lot of good stuff in there. I didn't really agree with how he would say it, or
his
sometimes his
delivery.
tone, his delivery was not the best, but he was actually really speaking straight facts on a lot of things,
Right.
honestly.
What do you think about the other guys that's out right now? Do you think that they're all cap and they're just saying whatever just to get views and talking about relationships? Yeah,
I just, it's too
I,
many people with podcasts out nowadays.
mm, yeah,
I just tell people, and the thing is, so many people they're so quick to just go to social media and Instagram and TikTok for their information. It's like, do your own research
mm,
because these people they're humans. They have issues just like you and I have issues. They go through
right.
things. And a lot of these men with these podcasts, a couple of ones that I've listened to, they're not married. They haven't been married for long periods of time. They have
True.
scandals. So I just tell people to be mindful of where you're getting your information from and do
Mm.
research for yourself.
Good answer. Good answer. Okay, so what's your thoughts on the whole abortion and stuff like that? Because I know
Oh
it's crazy
God.
because they say in certain states it's totally banned, and then I was reading up on this other incident where this lady was pregnant and she wanted to have the baby and she couldn't. She had a
Hmm.
miscarriage, and then they wouldn't do the DNC on her or let her. And so, what's your thoughts on that? Like,
I think that was a story where she had to carry pretty much push
and
the
it,
baby out. Yeah, and the
yeah.
baby was already deceased at that point. Yeah, that was a really sad story. Oh man. For me as a physician, we have to we took a oath to our patients.
Right.
And it's really sad that our government is trying to come in and control as women what we do with our bodies. Because a lot of times I feel like women, we have the choice. Like some women know that they can't have kids because they have severe mental issues and they have things going on, or they feel like they wouldn't be a good mom. And that is a right. You forcing someone to have a child against their will when you don't know their status as far as how much money they make, or their statuses with their partner, what's going on, and you rearing a child and bringing them up in certain situations that might be unhealthy. And
Sure.
I feel like the government's not helping people take care of their kids.
Mm,
So at the end of the day, a lot of these programs that we have in place, um, I mean, it's a temporary thing if you look at it.
mm,
So if you're not helping with better jobs, if you're not helping with healthcare insurance, making it affordable for everyone like Canada has, then why are you trying to force women to have kids? And
sure.
I have a lot of patients, that have severe mental illness that have kids, and it's very difficult for them. And some of them want to be able to abort. And so they're like, you know
Wow.
what? Yes, you can use condoms, and because that's a lot of people's arguments, like, oh, use condoms if you don't want to have kids. I get it, but let's be honest, people are not using condoms and they don't want to use condoms.
Right. Hmm.
So, yeah, it
It's
when
crazy,
the
right?
it's just a crazy situation, and it makes me really, really sad
Yeah.
because it's going to be a lot of kids going into foster care, a lot of kids that are going to be mistreated, a lot of kids that are going to be neglected.
I had a whole theory on this, right?
What?
What if because the the boys are getting circumcised at birth, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why can't we just snip them at birth,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then when they want to have a child, they just undo it.
That's not well, maybe not at birth, but I get what you're
Because they're
saying.
already doing it.
Be-
They're already circumcising them. They won't even know what's going on. They're already doing a major surgery
yeah, with the
on
vis-
them. And
Well, they that's kind of really, really young to do that. So
well, I
maybe
mean,
not
at least
at
he don't
birth.
have to. At least you don't have to worry about him getting pregnant at 14 or somebody else pregnant
Getting somebody
or
pregnant.
doing something like they can make the decision like I want you to be my wife. I want you to have my kids, and it won't be no problems until they
And this
get
is
ready.
right. And this is where we have to tie in sex education. That's why sex education is so important. And it's so sad that they're taking it out the schools. I don't know where you're from, but like growing up, I had sex ed classes.
Yeah, I did
And
too.
I feel like that's why it's so important that we need these sex ed classes because it
They
takes
still
two to
don't listen.
tango. They don't, but it showed that it at least helped.
It
Sex
did.
education and sexual. I feel like it helped our generation a little bit. It helped me.
Yo, yeah, it helped me too. Because I didn't have no kids. I was like 25. So,
Right, you
you know,
waited.
yeah,
So,
I
and
waited.
that's the thing. People are going to have sex regardless. People, are going to choose if they want to use protection or not.
Mhm.
Um, but just the whole idea of forcing someone to have a kid when they don't want to have a kid because that's a financial burden that they have to bear
Right.
is just. But you know how politics are. These white men get to make decisions about our bodies,
Hmm.
and it's crazy. It really is. It's just a crazy situation.
Okay. So I know you were a sex therapist. What's your favorite toy? Do you have one?
You know what?
Or you
The
suggest, or
funny
you can
thing,
suggest one. It doesn't matter.
I don't really have a favorite one, but I have some that I'm sponsored by that are
Okay.
amazing.
All right.
So if you guys go to my page, Dr. Canary, I'm sponsored by this company called Bush,
Bush.
VUSH,
Okay.
and they have all different assortments of sex toys that I highly recommend because not only does it come in, some people just like the small little vibrators.
Right.
So it depends like what you like, and they're cute and they come in boxes that you can't quite tell like what it is.
Oh,
So I really like that company. And then V for Vibes, they're based out of Miami. They're another great company to use.
okay. Now they said that if a girl uses too much of a vibrator, that she can mess up her clit or like not mess it up, but like kind of
Become desensitized.
yeah. And it's hard
Mm-hmm.
for her to have a regular orgasm with a
Orgasm.
guy. Is that true?
For some people, it is true. Yes, I've seen that before
Mhm.
in my line of work. But what I will say is like everything's in moderation. That's what it's about. Everything is in moderation.
Yeah.
And it's a good thing incorporating toys into the bedroom because they definitely help stimulate. You can use them as massagers. And a lot of men sometimes are intimidated by them, but once they get used to them being in the bedroom, it can be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So I always tell the couples that I counsel to incorporate toys, but you do have to be very careful because, like with porn, with anything, it can be addictive, and
Mm,
then you can become desensitized, where your partner is going to have a harder time pleasing you because you feel like you need that toy.
right. How much is too much porn? Like before you become an
Eesh.
addict, like a sex addict? Like, is it a couple times a day, or is it 5 times, or is it?
It. I'm gonna be honest. I don't like porn. Right. I
Mhm.
think that I tell couples to be very mindful of watching porn because it's made to be addictive, and
Mm,
it's made to kind of it's unrealistic. Let me just say that a lot of porn is unrealistic.
yeah.
Like everybody looks really perfect, unless you watch like The Homemaid.
Acting.
They do have it's
Yeah.
acting. Yeah, they are
Yeah.
actors. Like that's their career.
Right.
So the only time I tell the couples that I counsel to watch porn is if they're like looking to spice things up a little
Right.
bit, or they're watching it together and they're trying to learn different techniques and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But what I will say, where it becomes an addiction is if you're like leaving work to watch it,
Mm.
if it's disrupting any normal activity that you have throughout your day, then that would be along the lines of having an addiction.
Oh, okay. Because I know people they be watching that every day, and I watch it
Yeah,
just to spice it up, or
right.
I may go to a strip club here and there and just watch how they move in and try to get some new ideas or whatever. But other
That is
maybe,
a great way. Yes, definitely going
yeah.
to the strip club. And that's fun. It's
Hmm.
you're like getting in touch with your sexuality and your sensuality by going to the strip club.
That's true. It definitely is. Um, do you get guys that because you're nice looking? Do you get guys that try to hit on you while you're in therapy?
That is such a good question. You know what? I've had that happen only a handful of times because I screen when people DM me about therapy, like men, I let them know like from the get-go, this is not what you think it is. You are not going to try and hit on me during my sessions. Like I will refer you so quick.
Right.
So I've only had it happen a couple of times because I first, before I take on a client, do like a consultation.
Mm.
So it's happened a handful of
Wait a
times, but
minute,
I don't play when it.
do they do that while you're in session, or were they flirting while you're in session, or after, or did they
No,
do
it was like
it?
before. It was like,
Oh
yeah, it was
wow.
before. They didn't even make it to the
They didn't
session.
even make it.
They didn't even make it to the session. Yeah, I don't play no games when it comes to my business. So
Wow.
like if you're trying to holler at me, just holler at me. But don't try and set up a consultation to
And waste
talk
your
to me.
time.
That's gonna get you nowhere. I'm gonna bill your insurance, okay?
Oh my. Okay. Um, I know I was reading, I was watching some of your interviews and stuff, and these guys were talking about trauma.
Mhm.
When is when is it when is it not trauma? When do you become a survivor? Because some people hold on to that trauma forever. Like I know I had my ex
Yeah,
and he would just talk about, and I was trying to be supportive, but I'm
right.
like, that was 20 years ago. Like, when is it?
Oh,
I know, you don't want to be insensitive, but like,
right, right,
when
right.
when do you become a survivor at some point?
It's a mindset. Being a survivor is really a mindset. And a lot of it was he in therapy because
I, I
that's the
was
thing.
trying to get him in therapy.
See, and that's the thing. He never went to therapy. And a lot of people that experience severe trauma, they don't go to therapy, or
Mm,
they wait and they let it fester, fester, and fester until it makes them an alcoholic or a sex addict or something along that lines being
right.
extreme. So what I tell people is like go to therapy if you experience trauma, no matter how long ago it was, because honestly, life in itself is very traumatic.
It
Like
is.
I had a great upbringing. I didn't have anything traumatizing happen to me growing up, but over the years, I've still had trauma just from life experiences.
Yeah.
That can be trauma within itself. So I feel like being a survivor is a mindset when you're choosing to not live in the past and not allowing what has happened to you continue to be a detriment to your mental health or your physical health, because that's what trauma does. It definitely affects mental,
It does.
physical, spiritual, all of that.
It really does. And I mean, he just was. it's like an everyday thing. And it was just like,
Yeah.
okay, like, and you don't want to be, like I said, you don't want to be insensitive, but it's like, oh my God, you
When are you gonna try and work through
like
this?
when is this over? Like when, and like I said, it was really hard for me because I've never dated a guy that was like had so many things going on, and it was like he
Right.
wanted to kill himself and all this. It was like a lot for me.
Right.
Like
Right.
I gained weight in that relationship.
Oh
I
my
gained so
God.
much weight, and just because everything he went through, I went, I was
Right.
like I
Yeah.
was going through. So it was
Hmm.
it was a lot on me. Do you think that all men cheat?
Well, you have some good questions. I'm laughing mainly because me and my girlfriend, we were just having a conversation about this the other day, because 75% of my clients are males, and I get to hear the inner working of their mind and what they really think. No, I don't think all men cheat.
Okay.
I don't
What
think all men
percentage? What
cheat.
percentage?
I think now and let me just say this disclaimer: when we're talking about cheating, we're going to talk about emotional cheating. We're
Okay.
going to talk about physical, because physical cheating starts, or emotional cheating starts way before typically physical cheating, right?
Okay.
So we're talking about emotional cheating, physical cheating, um,
Well, what's
the
emotional
thought of
cheating?
cheating.
Because I thought
So
cheating would be like all together. No?
so we break it down into different compartments, because you do have individuals that cheat, but it wasn't physical. They didn't have sex with the person, they didn't meet up with the person.
It was in
Maybe this is just, yeah, in their
okay.
mind. Maybe they DM the person, or the person DM them. They were having conversations, texting, text messages.
Okay.
And emotional cheating falls along more the lines of, you have blocked out your spouse from providing that emotional intelligence to you, and you're allowing the person that you're entertaining, whether that's just text messaging,
Mhm.
you're allowing them to give you that love and support that you're craving, or that validation that you need.
Oh, okay. I got you.
So I think a large percentage of people, yes, do cheat in some capacity from what I've seen.
So like 2080.
Oh, girl, it's high. I feel like from
That's
personal
that's
experience,
true.
professional experience, I feel like a large percentage of people have cheated. Yes.
Wait.
Yep,
So
I do.
90?
If we talk,
95?
well, are we talking about the US population or the world population?
Yeah, like just the US. We're going to
The
say the US.
US population. Oh God. And I have some stats on this. That's the funny thing. I actually did a breakdown one time of like how people cheat, where they cheat at. It's
Wow.
it's 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 a large percentage. I would say, and I don't want to be incorrect. So I'm
No,
even
I
kind
mean,
of
like
scared
we're
to
just
give a
guessing
number.
here, like roundabout. Like it's no.
I would say almost 50-50. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, a large
50 is
percentage.
low.
And remember, this is not just physical cheating. This is
This is
emotional cheating.
everything.
This
Right.
is everything. Cheating, because cheating, if you break down cheating is anything you really wouldn't do in front of your significant other.
That's true. That's very true.
That's what cheating is. So you could whistle at a girl. Would you whistle at that girl in front
While
of
she
your?
was there,
No,
right.
you
That's what I
wouldn't.
tell my
So
guys.
yeah, it's inappropriate. Anything
Mhm.
you wouldn't do in front of your partner, that's cheating.
That's cheating. Absolutely. How would someone know that they have schizophrenia? Because I know like some people that say I'm crazy. And I'm like, yeah, and they'll say, well, I'm diagnosed with schizophrenia. And I'm like, well, did the
Okay.
doctor tell you that? Like they be
Right.
diagnosing themselves.
Oh gosh, don't diagnose yourself. Please go see a
Yeah,
professional.
they
I
be
mean, we
crazy.
all a little off. I don't like to use the word
Right.
crazy. We all a little touched, is what I
Yes.
like to use. We
Uh,
all a little touched. So schizophrenia is a very serious mental illness condition, right? This is where they might hear auditory or visual hallucinations, where you're hearing or seeing things that are not there, that everybody else cannot see
like
and
the
hear.
people walking down the street and they talking to themselves.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
okay, I
And a
got
lot of time, yeah, those people, yep, that are typically talking to themselves. And sometimes it can be bipolar too. So, because
you.
they're schizoaffective, which is a mixture between bipolar and schizophrenia.
Okay.
So, if you feel that you have schizophrenia, usually what you would need to go do is see a healthcare professional and let them know the symptoms that you're having. And then we can prescribe you medication. But
Yeah.
yeah, if you feel like you're seeing things that nobody else in the room can see, or you're hearing things that nobody else in the room can hear, but it is it has to happen for an extended amount of time,
Mm.
because sometimes people that have severe trauma, they might see, hear, or feel things, or have very vivid dreams. So you have to be very mindful. Don't just think, oh, I had severe trauma, so I'm schizophrenic, because that might not be the case. You might just be reliving some trauma that you just recently had.
True. Because I know when my daughter had passed away, and
Mm. Oh
when
my God.
when
I'm
she
sorry to hear that.
passed, yeah, when she passed, when like before I found her, and
Mm.
I got up and it like I heard three whispers and it says, "She's dead, she's dead, she's dead." And I was just like, what the hell's going on? Like, and I nobody was in the room. Like I
Right.
looked everywhere and it was like clear as day whisper. And I was
Oh God.
going crazy. Like, I don't know what's going on. But I
Right.
mean, it just was really, really weird. I've never experienced that in my life. It was the
Hmm.
weirdest thing. So, but my mom always says she's schizophrenia all the time. I'll be like, whatever, you know. But I mean,
Hmm.
I didn't really know the definition of it, so you broke it down. I don't think she talks to herself. You know, all of us do
Okay.
that when we're mad. You know, we like,
Right.
I don't care. You know, you
Right.
talking to
Right. Yeah,
yourself,
that's normal. I mean, we all talk. Now, if you start responding to yourself, I'll
right?
be a little worried.
Yeah.
But yeah, we all talk to ourselves. That's perfectly normal. And if she feels like she really is, then you know it takes a while to diagnose these things like bipolar, schizoaffective, schizophrenia. And I have so many, especially with the African American population, the Black population. I have so many people that come to me and they're like, "Oh, well, they diagnosed me the first time I met them," and I'm like, "No."
Yeah.
There's testing that we do, you know. So if you go somewhere and they're like, oh yeah, immediately they diagnose you with something, then be very skeptical and get a second and a third opinion,
Yeah.
because there's testings that we do. There's a process to diagnosing someone.
And our people don't like therapy at all. So it's I think we're going back. We're
We're
going
getting better.
wrong.
We're
We're
getting
getting
better.
better. I go
I'm
to
proud
therapy.
of
I
us.
love it. I love
I
therapy.
I I am a therapist and I go to therapy. I have a
Really?
therapist. Yes, girl, we all got issues. We
Yeah.
all have things that we got to work on.
We have to for this like war out here. I call it war in the world.
Yeah, it
Like,
is.
and it's a lot of things you got to strengthen your brain. Like I watch at least an hour of like spiritual or like inspirational stuff on YouTube to kind of get myself ready for the world. Like
Yes,
positive stuff.
yes. You
You
have to.
can't.
I even limit my time on social media. And I usually, my feed is very positive things. And
Mm,
that's the thing. You have to curate your life to what you want it to be, right? If you're constantly feeding yourself negativity, and you're seeing, you know, just negative images and listening to negative music, your life is probably going to reflect what you're feeding yourself.
that's true.
So I'm just very mindful in general. But you know, I deal with all different types of clients and patients, so I hear a lot. So even myself, I'm an empath. Like I take on people's problems and their burdens, so I have to be very mindful of that. So that's why I have a therapist, I have a psychologist that I talk to, because I'm taking on everybody else's problems, and she has a psychologist that she goes to. I call her my psychologist, because she has somebody else that she goes to as well.
Yeah, and that's crazy because everybody comes to me, and then I'm like, well, who am I going to? Because that's why I had to go to therapy myself, because like just to, you know, have that strength because they take so much from you. It's like,
Yes, it's
ugh,
draining.
it
It's
is
it's
very draining.
draining. And that's why I tell people, be careful when you vent to your friends,
Mhm.
because we're all like at war with something in our lives, or
Right.
we all have a lot going on. And so you just want to be mindful when you vent.
Uh-oh. Hello? You there? Hello? Air Out Radio is that chick fire. Hold on. Oh, she's back. Okay. I don't know what
But what
happened.
happened?
I have no
Oh,
idea.
I'm
I was
not,
like,
well, sorry if it was me. I don't know what happened.
I have no idea. It's okay. Who's more stubborn, male or females in
Ooh,
therapy?
in therapy, you know what, ladies, y'all gonna hate me, but I
It's
gotta
all
call us
good.
out. We are really, and this is just from my professional
Right,
experience, because I
right,
don't want
right.
the females to come at me and call me a traitor or
No,
nothing.
but the truth is the truth, though.
But the thing is, men, I feel like before therapy are more stubborn. I've seen a lot of wives have to fight with their husbands, boyfriends, partners, tooth and nail to get them there. But once men are in therapy, they do
in it.
amazing. Like they open up, they blossom
They
like a
be fine.
beautiful flower. Yes.
Right.
But then the women, I've noticed, they don't always, it's always sides to a story, I say. You know, the truth, her side, his side, and the truth, right?
Right.
And I feel like everybody always has their own perception of how things happen.
Mm-hmm.
But the issue I find in therapy is like, okay, you both have your sides. I get it. What is the solution? And a lot of men are very black and white solution based for the most part. But women, we pick apart those fine details.
Right.
Like we really, really do. So I would say women, once they get into therapy, they are a bit more difficult sometimes.
Wow. Dang, ladies.
I
Okay.
know.
What do you consider toxic? A relationship
Whew.
that's toxic.
I would consider a toxic relationship to me is one, a relationship that is no longer serving either individual.
Mm,
It is not allowing the relationship to evolve. It's not allowing healing. It's not allowing growth in the relationship. Where you start to pretty much become combative. You've disassociated from the relationship. You can no longer hear or see one another. And that's on a spiritual, emotional, physical level. That to me is
wow.
toxic.
Wow. Okay. Now this is one of my questions, right? Because I've dealt with this myself.
Mm-hmm.
So me and my ex were real dominating people in the bedroom, right? And we're sitting there arguing, like, I want to ride, I want to do this, I want to, and we're like, while we're having sex, and it's like, how do you deal with that? Like, who has to bow down because we're both aggressive? So, like, what do we do? Because we're just like, look, we're arguing over who's gonna do what. Because we both,
Right.
got skills and we want to show it off. And
Right. I try to show them off all at one. You know what? The thing is sex is supposed to be fun.
right.
It's supposed to be. So if you both like to be dominant in the bedroom, just take turns being dominant.
Okay.
You start give him the first 10 minutes to be dominant because he might have a fantasy of dominating you because he knows that you're dominant.
That's
And
a
you got a fantasy of dominating him because you know that he's dominant.
right.
And so it can work. You just both have to realize, okay, you got your 10 minutes, and then I'm about to show you it's
The
my 10
10
minutes
minutes.
and it's about to be on. You know what I'm saying? Because that can be fun. That can be
Right.
fun. And even, if you know that you're dealing with an alpha male or a dominant male, sometimes flipping the script on him and being submissive because he's not gonna expect it, right?
Right.
In the bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of times and people have a bad use of the word submitting, or just letting him take the lead, however you want to say it.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times that messes with their head because he's like, oh, she used to
Let me
be
in.
very dominate. Now she let me dominate. Wait, what's going on here? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, sex is supposed to be fun. You're supposed to switch it up. You're
True.
supposed to try new things. You're supposed to have communication with your partner, so that way you can know what they like and communicate what you like as well. Because as women, I think sometimes we do have issues communicating what we like in the bedroom.
True. Okay, this is my last question, and I'm gonna let you go. Can a relationship work if one person is in therapy and the other one doesn't want to go?
Ooh, girl, that's a good question. You asked some really good questions that people have never asked me before, but Neat should have asked me. Um, okay, so yes, it can. I feel like any relationship can work if two people are willing to make it work, right?
Mm-hmm.
And not force it. That's the difference. Make it work because you realize, okay, we both have these set of issues. We can come together. We're both trying to heal because I do believe you can heal without therapy.
Mm,
But the issue is where the issue typically lies is if one person is in therapy and feels that the other person needs therapy and they're not in therapy.
right.
Because sometimes, I've been in situations where I was in therapy, but my partner wasn't. And it wasn't an issue. But the issue becomes is what if you feel like your partner needs therapy and they're not in therapy?
Right.
That is going to be difficult to make it work
But then
because
you're
you're
doing the therapy
evolving.
on them. That's
Yes.
the
And
thing.
you're evolving and growing. Your trajectory is totally different.
Right.
And your partner is still stagnant. That will never work. That will never
Yeah.
work.
Cause I be feeling like that too. Cause I'm like, I'm in therapy, and I'm like, you're not, and you're not, and you feel
Is
like
he open to trying it though?
no. So that's the thing. And I know my other friends are going through therapy and then their man
Mm-hmm.
is not doing it. So it's like, and they're in the same boat, like, well, I don't know what to do, and then you feel
And
yourself.
you can't
I
force anybody into
know.
therapy. That's the thing.
Yeah, you
But hopefully, and this is the thing, ask them why they're against therapy. Because I have friends, even my best friend, she knows I'm a psychiatrist, and I can't even get her to go to therapy. And
she
I
doesn't
asked
want
her
to
one
go to
time, I
you.
said, I don't want her to come to me. I don't counsel like friends and family and stuff like that.
Right.
But I asked her, like, why don't you feel like therapy would be beneficial to you?
Oh,
So that's a question I tell people to ask their partners or their spouse or whomever. Why don't they? What is their reason behind not going to therapy?
right.
And then if they give you a reason, break that down. Oh, I can't find a Black therapist. Well, you can do telehealth if there's no Black therapist in
Oh
your
yeah,
city.
there's plenty out there.
Oh, I feel like I don't have any issues. Well, baby, we all got issues.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody got
Everybody,
issues.
even if it's just
Even
little.
if it's small, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, some people have bigger issues than others, but therapy is just maintenance. Like
Yeah.
that's all it is. Like who wouldn't want to go to somebody that you can just vent to? Yes, you got to pay them to vent, but that you can just vent to and then find solutions for your problems.
Right. Oh,
Because that's what we're there for, to help you find solutions. Therapy is
exactly.
fun.
It
It's
is
hard. It's hard work though. It
hard.
can be fun at times. It's hard. You're gonna cry. You're gonna laugh. If you have the right therapist, and it's all about finding the right therapist too.
Right. And doing the homework too.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I definitely appreciated you giving me the
Yeah. Sorry, it
time.
had to be so quick. I gotta work,
No,
y'all.
it's
I gotta make this
okay.
money.
It's okay. I know you gotta get that money. You want to tell them the website and everything and
Yes,
your Instagram.
absolutely. So you can find me on Instagram at Dr. Canary. That's Dr. Canary. That's my personal page where I showcase mental health, sexual health. I do a lot of traveling. And
I
then I
see.
have, yes, I
You
love
be traveling.
traveling. Yes,
Lord.
girl. I love that is my self-care.
Jesus. I'll be like, she here, she there.
Yes, I love
Real quick,
traveling.
favorite place you traveled so far?
Girl, oh, I've traveled to like 35 countries. Girl, I can't say all
Oh,
them countries.
oh.
I traveled a lot. I was a
I
military
see.
brat
I
though
know. I
too.
seen it.
I was a military, but I'll tell you some of my top companies, or top travel places,
Yeah.
destinations. Bali for sure. Jamaica, Egypt is an absolute
Oh,
must. Absolutely loved Thailand and Japan. Those are probably some of my top five
okay.
places
Somebody
to
got some
go.
money.
Yeah. Cry for the money,
And
honey.
I'm trying to get to LA over here. You going to Egypt and they're
Where
like,
are you at? Where are you located?
we're in Philly.
Oh, Philly. Okay, shout out to Philly.
Yeah. I've been to Las Vegas, Cali. That's about it. Like nothing else
Girl, we got to get you to
outside.
Atlanta. We
I
got to
know. Oh,
Miami.
I've been to
Just start.
Atlanta. Yeah, I've been to
Okay,
Atlanta.
okay. So
Yeah.
yeah, start with the small places and then just expand. But yeah, I think everybody has to see the world.
Right.
Everybody needs a passport. And once you start, it's gonna be hard to stop. Like
Really
you're gonna get the
hard.
travel bug. Yes.
Okay. Instagram, real quick.
Oh, so yeah, Dr. Canary is my personal page. If you are interested in sexual health and mental health, I have my business page,
Oh,
mind.body.sex. And I just launched an ebook last month for my ladies,
yes.
about how to deal with fuck boys, about how to, yes.
Oh no, she did.
Yes, yes. I break it all the
Okay.
way down. But not even just about that. I talk about therapy. I talk about how to be a dominatrix in the bedroom. I talk
Ooh.
about a little bit of everything. Yeah, it's a great
Okay.
comprehensive book. And you can find that at my mind.body.sex page or drmbs.com
Is
is
it
the name of my
audio?
website. It's not, it's an ebook.
Because people
Mm.
won't be reading them.
I know everyone keeps trying to tell me to do audio, and
Yeah,
I might eventually. I'm low key a little bit of
the
a
audio.
procrastinator.
Yeah.
So maybe eventually I'll do audio. I gotta find like a voice actor and all that stuff. So yeah, I guess eventually I'll do that.
Okay. Well, thank you
Yeah.
so much. I appreciate
Thank you
you.
for having me, Queen. I appreciate it.
Okay. Have a good one. Be safe out there.
You too.
Okay.
Talk to you soon. Bye.